Hey, and welcome back to Rapid Flow. My name is Eric. I'm the founder. If you thought we'd gone off the deep end with all the yoga, meditation, esoteric stuff, don't worry. We're still going to be doing technical stuff. And today we're going to be reviewing Slate VSX 5, which is a software that just came out for the headphone software combination. And rather than show you the software and click through the buttons, I thought I will make this real world for you. And I'll show you an electronic music track in production, all high-res files. And I'm going to show you the mix I did on these Amphion 115s. And where I can take that mix, or which maybe errors or problems I can identify using Slate, and how I can improve on that mix. So you get like really a clear A-B comparison to what I can do using Slate and where I can get to using my Amphions in this room. Now, I'm super used to Slate. I've had it since the Founders Edition. I've worked for Slate many, many years ago in the past, but I have no affiliation with them. This is not paid content. They've not asked me to do this. I'm just making this because I think it's an incredible piece of software, hardware combination. I recommend this a lot to my students and people working with me because in my experience, in all my years in the audio industry, this is the most reliable system for translation, for getting good mixes, if you don't happen to have a good room and budget to treat it all and good speakers and all that. So having said that, let's dive into this and let's check out this track and what it sounds like in the mix coming from the Amphions. Okay, so let me switch on VSX for you now. So these are the main rooms I always recommend people to have if they can't afford to buy the Platinum Edition. However, I would absolutely recommend to get that because you get all future upgrades and the price difference is only like $100. I use the Mike Dean room for composing in because it has a lot of low end and it feels vibey, and I use the Howie Weinberg mastering room to do the final mix checks. So let me switch between them again and give you an impression of how different they sound and what are the different things you can hear in them. And then the other rooms that are extremely useful for electronic music are these club rooms. Let me show you. So if your bass still feels like it's tight and working in those two rooms, especially this one, which doesn't actually have a V5 update, which is fine because this room is kind of like a worst case scenario for the bass. If your bass still feels controlled here, then you're definitely in the right ballpark with your track. So what we're going to do to check where we are at with this mix is that I have a reference track loaded in ADPTR AB here, which is a track that I did that was mastered professionally by Daniel Söderberg of Earthbound Mastering. It's one of my favorite tracks actually that I've done in recent times, and I did it all on the Infinity Bundle, which is something that we sell over on rapidflow.shop. All the instrument, kick drum, snares, all that stuff from this track is from there. So if you want to grab that, please feel free. The template that you're listening to today, the session, is the Eric Heiremann template, which is more advanced. It has more faders, more possibilities for control. And you can also grab that on rapidflow.shop if you like. And what we're doing here is that we are mastering this track in real time in this template with low latency. So the sound you're hearing is all Ableton. None of the outboard gear here in the studio is on. We're going to be working on this mix a little bit in the mastering chain because I've think I've heard already a few things that I would improve. So let's listen to the reference track, which is something that I know sounds really good. And let's see how close I got to it on the Amphions and then what I could improve on using Slate VSX. So this is the reference track that's mastered, and I'm switching AB between these with my crossfader on the APC40. So to my ears, I identify a few problems. There's a gap in the mids, which we may actually also be able to see on the spectrum analyzer. Yeah, there's like a lack of energy and density here, and I think also the low end doesn't feel quite right yet. The low end feels like it could use a little bit more boost and vibe. So let's go over to my mastering chain. This is all included in the Eric Heiermann template. And you do need some third-party plugins to run it. If you don't have them, there is some backups done in the template for you. But what I'm using now for vibe is this EQ right here. And this is also what I would like to use to address that gap in the mids. Let's have a listen. Okay, that's already a lot closer. The other thing I would like to do is do a little high shelf boost as well as a little low shelf boost. Actually, I'm feeling like this is missing a little bit more of that smiley curve character. And I want to use on Daniel Söderberg's mastering chain his mid-side EQ to contour the low end a little bit. Okay, so to my ears, that's really close now. Now let me show you the difference between the bounce I did before I started the session of where we started this track, which was the mix on the Amphions, and then the actual corrections that I've done now based on VSX. So I'm going to show it to you briefly through VSX, but I'm going to remove VSX actually also so that you can hear it without the room correction. Let me show you. This, what we're hearing over here is the bounce of the track before, and we can switch AB between the bounce and the corrected version. So right now this is, let me check, blue, orange, this is the bounce. So this is where we started. And this is the corrected version over on the blue side. When you see this on blue, this is the actual live track that we're working on. We go to a spot that also has hi-hats to make this a little bit more full. And I'm going to remove VSX so that you can actually hear what this final mixdown sounds like also if you're not on headphones right now. So bypassing VSX, and we're now listening to the original mix that I did of this project before doing the final tweaks on this session. So I can definitely hear now that I've corrected that gap in the mids and that the highs and lows are a little bit more happening, a little bit more open, and this is not something I was able to hear in my room on the Amphion 115s. The way I mixed it was obviously the best I could do on the 115s, but yeah, the VSX headphones have allowed me to find a couple of little things here now that I think could be done better. So yes, that's in essence, I think, what I can share with you about this. Yeah, an incredible piece of software in combination with the headphones that makes it super easy to find errors, to get good mixes, to check your low end and know that it's not too boomy or not too thin. Like I said, I recommend it to all my students, everyone that asks me about this stuff in one-on-one sessions. And yeah, if you're struggling with your mixdowns or your masters, getting a combination of Slate and our mastering chain or one of our templates is the easiest way to resolve that, because yeah, what you're hearing here is a track in production through our mastering chain. And as you hear, I mean, I'm unfortunately not able to play you commercially available references because I'm going to get a copyright strike and all that stuff. But the track that I was referencing to was professionally mastered and yeah, sounds really good on many systems. So I hope that gives you an idea of how powerful our mastering chain and templates are. And in combination with Slate VSX, for me, that's all I need. I can take my laptop VSX and our samples and templates, and I have enough to make music to the level of quality that I'm also able to do here in the studio. This track Sanuk that we were referencing to was actually done in Thailand on just a laptop with Slate for mixing. So I hope this has been helpful. I'm gonna play this track a little bit more for you so you get an idea of where we've come to, and I'm gonna A/B switch between the track that we did using Slate and the track that we did now using this referencing. I'm going to leave Slate off so that you can hear on any system what the difference is in the decisions that I made. And that will be it for today. So I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Your face to the east of the west, it will follow you.